ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Akin ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ bá ń kọ́mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ́ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹ́rù bo lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò síná ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho àfikàn pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Akin ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ bá ń kọ́mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ́ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹ́rù bo lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò síná ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho àfikàn pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
ìgbà ọ̀tun ti dé ọmọ Odùduwà àsìkò ọ̀tun ti dé ọmọ Odùduwà kò ṣẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà mọ́ ọmọ Odùduwà kò ṣẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà mọ́ ọmọ Odùduwà àsìkò ti tó láti gbára wa lọ́wọ́ ìjọba amúnisìn o. àsìkò ti tó ọmọ Odùduwà àsìkò ti tó ọmọ Odùduwà kò ṣẹlẹ́sìmẹ̀sìn mọ́ ọmọ Odùduwà àfẹ́lẹ́yàmẹ̀yà mọ́ ọmọ Odùduwà àsìkò ti tó láti gbára wa lọ́wọ́ ìjọba amúnisìn o.
ọmọ Odùduwà republic asọwasọwọ asọwọsọmọ asọwọsálàfíà àìkúbalẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ àfẹ́lẹ́ àmẹ́yàmọ́ àfẹ́lẹ́ sìmẹ́sìmọ́ àwọn ìjọba wa ara wọn nìkan ló ń jà fún. ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé republic yìí láwùjẹ Odùduwà republic ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé lárugẹ kó lè san wá sówó kó lè san wá sọ́mọ asan wá sálàfíà àìkúbalẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ àní àsìkò yìí ti tó
ọmọ Odùduwà.
àsìkò yìí ti tó sẹ́
ọmọ Odùduwà.
àfẹ́lẹ́ yàmẹ̀yàmọ́
ọmọ Odùduwà.
àfẹ́lẹ́ yàmẹ̀yàmọ́
ọmọ Odùduwà. àsìkò ti tó láti gbára wa lọ́wọ́ ìjọba amúnisìn o.
ẹ jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn gbogbo àgbààgbà Yorùbá látòrí emeritus professor Banji Akintoye comrade mi ńkọ́ Victor Taiwo olóyè Sunday Igboho ẹ bá mi tọ́jú bàbá tèmi ààrẹ Gani Adams àti gbogbo Yorùbá akíkanjú ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà lókè òkun látòrí Mr. Adékúnlé Adépọ̀jù àní ìgbà ọ̀tun ti dé
ọmọ Odùduwà.
ìgbà ọ̀tun ti dé
ọmọ Odùduwà.
àfẹ́lẹ́ yàmẹ̀yàmọ́
ọmọ Odùduwà.
àfẹ́lẹ́ sìmẹ̀sìmọ́
ọmọ Odùduwà. àsìkò ti tó láti gbára wa lọ́wọ́ ìjọba amúnisìn o.
ẹ̀ ń kókó Odùduwà republic ó náwó ẹ̀ sókè.
èmi náwó mi.
ẹni tó ń fẹ́ Odùduwà republic ẹni tó ń fẹ́ Odùduwà republic kó náwó ẹ̀ sókè ni.
èmi náwó mi.
ó ń fọ́ Odùduwà kó náwó ẹ̀ sókè.
èmi náwó mi.
ẹni tó bá fọ́ Odùduwà republic kó náwó ẹ̀ sókè ni.
èmi náwó mi.
And a very good morning and welcome once again to our live transmission. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire níbikíbi tí ẹ bá ti láǹfààní àti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní àárọ̀ yìí. A kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń fẹ́ òmìnira. A kí gbogbo ọmọ Oòduà tó ń bẹ nílé àtẹni tó ń bẹ níta. A kí gbogbo wa pé the Nigeria you know in the last 62 years is a deliberate act láti make life difficult for each and every one of you. But ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí ó wà nílé wọ́n rò pé bí wọ́n ṣe bí àwọn, that is the normal way tí wọ́n ṣe jẹ́ pé àwọn láti máa jìyà. 15 minutes past 5 a.m. in the morning, and let's go straight into the program.
Again. No going back. Ìgbòho òòṣà iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ mi ló kí yìí o. Àwọn ọmọ mi ló kí yìí o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa délẹ̀ lérí o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
And a very good morning once again to those of you that have joined us at the early hours of this morning. My name is OLAMILEKAN Koiki, and as usual, iṣẹ́ tèmi ni láti máa jẹ́ kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà nílé, especially, just to let you know that you are living in danger. But so many people keep saying that ilé ayé táwọn ń gbé, it is designed like that. And I always say that it is not designed like that. It's just unfortunate that a lot of you don't understand that Ọlọ́run ò bí ẹnì kankan kó jìyà. Àwọn politicians yìí, àwọn ló make life very difficult fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín. Àwọn politicians yìí, Nigeria, from the southeast to the southwest to the north, they've literally make your life miserable. But as the election is coming, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín, you are so excited, you are so happy, hoping that your life will become better. And I can only pity a lot of you. The politicians, Montonche, is a deliberate act to keep Nigeria in abject poverty. And as long as you remain in abject poverty, that is good for the politicians. Because the politicians can then manipulate each and every one of you. As the Yorubas and the Biafras continue the agitation for freedom, millions of Nigerians are still praying that Nigeria should work. I don't know how that is going to happen. But what I can tell you is, it does not matter whatever is going on as we speak right now in what is known as Nigeria today. Nothing is going to change in Nigeria in the next 40 years should Nigeria remain the way it is. There will be more carnage, there will be more problem, there will be more killings, and there will be more criminalities going on among a lot of you in Nigeria. So everybody at some point will become a criminal trying to survive in that terrain or that continent or that geographical location known as Nigeria. A lot of us that are campaigning that we should exit Nigeria is because we have seen what Nigeria can offer you. For those of us that have left Nigeria for a very long time. But it seems that àwọn tó wà nílé, you love your oppressor so much and you back them up with everything by even defending them against some of us that are saying that Nigeria is not working. Àwa la wá di enemy yín. Kékeré ni Buhari ṣe fún ilé ayé yín for the last 8 years. The next government, should you allow that to happen, would make your life more miserable than President Muhammadu Buhari that have destroyed every part of Nigeria as we speak today because of the insecurity and so many other atrocities that takes place in Nigeria today. But those of us that are campaigning that we should allow Nigeria to be dissolved quietly can see the better future outside Nigeria. But àwọn tó wà nílé, you can only see the little. And that literally means that The more we are telling you we should break away from Nigeria, the more it's getting difficult on a daily basis. A very good morning to those of you that have joined us so far. We are not going to give up for those of us that continue the campaign because it is still work in progress, as Professor Banji Akintoye have said some few days ago. The work to rescue the Yoruba people is not in the hands of your king or your politicians, because as much as a lot of you don't understand, all these individuals prefer you to live a fake life. And if care is not taken, the worst that you've seen so far in Nigeria will just be the beginning of what is about to happen to your life again in the next 8 years. As I speak to you today, Nigeria is completely in a massive big debt. And that is why every indices is pointing that Nigeria will not survive in the next couple of years to come. There will be more Nigerians that will die of hunger. There will be more Nigerians that will not be able to get the basic things of life. There will be more Nigerians that will need help, but that help is not going to come through, whether through medical, whether through whatever it is. 8 years that Buhari government came to power, he has done more worse than Jonathan and the rest of those previous governments. But as his government is winding down, we are here again to now tell the Yoruba people, wait, shape the same lifestyle. Take me 8 years. Let us again me abi if change the lifestyle here. Some Yoruba say it is because of the bad leadership in the country. That is why things have gone worse. Some say that by bringing in a new set of people, it will resolve the problem in Nigeria. But I know definitely that there is no way anything will change anytime soon, because the structure that Nigeria have, based on the 1999 fraudulent constitution, where the northern part of Nigeria today have taken more lead, where they can only do shakara by putting on this camouflage to kill innocent people in Biafra land and in Oduduwa land, and likewise without able to defend the northern part of Nigeria that have been destroyed. The military have used these outfits to kill so many innocent people, not just in the southeast alone, but they've been unable to defend your life. But today, we are now saying that we all have opportunity to question whatever has happened in Nigeria for the last 24 years, at least since 1999, and be truthful with Urawa. But has Nigeria ever been able to work since democracy came back? I was listening to Journalist Hangout yesterday. As you all know, by the end of January, there will be all your old 1,000 naira, 500 naira, and 200 naira notes will not be legal tender anymore. And they were comparing that scenario with UK that probably just phased away the 20 pounds note, but they were given enough time. But Bubunton Shellen in Nigeria is all about the talking. They've been talking continuously for 24 years without providing to you the basic things of life. But more Nigerians are so much excited that they will use their PVC to chase away the fraudulent Buhari government and bring in maybe Peter Obi, or bring back the drug baron Tinubu, or bring back the criminal Atiku that have literally swindled as many Nigerians in the hope that he's going to come and save Nigeria. My question tonight again is, or this morning, are you sure that the 2023 that a lot of you are already clamoring for is going to save your life? These is some of the latest statistics based on what we have that indicate the failure of President Muhammadu Buhari when he came to power some few years ago, which is almost 8 years ago. Buhari have destroyed the economy, likewise as he has destroyed Nigerians as a country. But as we continue to say, Buhari has nothing to offer. He has done his worst. And Nigeria today continues to remain the capital poverty of the world. As millions of you wake up every day without no hope. Some of you are praying that the hope should come very quick. But everybody knows that that hope is not coming, because every blessed day, the hope diminished. And that literally means that you will not be able to survive another 4 years. What you're looking right now is just a small part of what is about to happen to you. Kékeré ni interi, and a lot of evidence has backed up some of what we have been saying, that Buhari or whoever will become the president of Nigeria cannot fix Nigeria because of the structure that Nigeria have. Let's listen to T.Y. Danjuma again, just to tell you exactly what we have been saying regarding the shithole country that a lot of you would like to die to save. Ìdí tí ẹ ṣe fẹ́ save Nigeria is nothing more than the fact that you are saving Nigeria for the Western world, a country like where I live. Because the UK needs Nigeria, France needs Nigeria, America needs Nigeria, China needs Nigeria, India needs Nigeria. They all need Nigeria to survive in one way or the other. But for those of you at home, you will suffer.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movement. They cover them.
The worst that you said so.
If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
That is the former Chief of Army Staff, General T.Y. Danjuma. Ó sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Nigeria that the militaries collude, but now we can see the military flexing power in the southeast, saying that whoever wants to stop the election will be dealt with. The same military that could not save the lives of so many Nigerians for the last 8 years. But this is what the West tells them to do. Kill as many people that wants to stop the general election. We will not do anything to you. We will just put our eyes away as if we did not see it. The West has compromised, and they were part of the killings of the Biafrans during the 1967 up to the 1970 Civil War. Famo Yoruba, you probably maybe be hearing the news that IPOB is a terrorist organization. Do not believe that nonsense. The only terrorist organization that we have is the Fulani, headed by President Muhammadu Buhari and Yemi Osibajo, the Yoruba man, that is backing this contraction known as Nigeria today. He's a fake pastor, okay? Don't believe that man. He's one of the most fake pastors that you have in Nigeria, giving false hope to millions of Nigeria that life would become better. But we have seen the failure of Osibajo. That's why he cannot even campaign for drug baron like Tinubu, the cocaine pusher. And there are so many people, like us, that wants to survive under the same fraudulent system. People like Dino Malaye, Femi Kayode, and George, Bode George, and the rest of them like that. Saraki, and all these fraudulent politicians like Akeredolu, that is very sick. That even the wife confirmed that Akeredolu is almost dying. He wants to die because they're giving him a lot of concussion. Nobody was born to suffer. It does not matter if you keep it about BSc like by you. Nobody, I say, nobody was born to suffer. But the reason why you're suffering today is because of your corrupt kings and what Bale Yoruba, the politicians that is backing the current fake constitution, the constitution that does not work for the Yorubas or the Biafra. Let's tell the Nigerian military that this is not 1967. We are now in 21st century. Nobody is going to fight a conventional war with Nigeria. Definitely you'll be defeated because they have the manpower, quote and unquote, according to some. But we know that the unity of Nigeria is already divided, even in the military, because Opolopomo Yoruba have been oppressed by the northerners, and the same with other ethnic groups that are in the military as we speak today. So nobody should think that what the British did in 1967 by providing weapons to kill innocent Igbo because of their crude oil, where in the northern part of Nigeria, if you find a gold, it belongs to the north. But the resources in the southwest can be used to fund Kano that keep destroying alcohol, where Sharia is now being used in most part of the northern state of Nigeria today. Nobody should be deceived that we have a unity in Nigeria anymore. The unity of Nigeria has already collapsed. Let's listen to my beautiful sister, Dr. Ugu.
They wanted to be separate from the country that the British Empire had imposed on us, which was this country of Nigeria, where they kind of took a bunch of independent nations who don't have anything to do with each other, don't even speak each other's language, don't relate. Many of them were even enemies and warring at the time, smushed them all together and drew these arbitrary lines around them and called them countries and named those countries.
Right.
And then said, now y'all get along and do a country for us and be a union for us. And then go through, contentious, bloody independence processes that never really yield any real independence. You're still part of a commonwealth afterwards.
True.
And you have the eternal meddling in your affairs and the eternal extraction of your resources and the eternal fomenting of divisiveness and infighting in order to be able to control you. This is what an oppressor does, a colonizer does. These are tactics and strategies of dominance.
Right.
We were subjected to that as a larger unit of Nigeria. And then when the Igbo people said, we want our own thing, let's go and do that. Well, it so happened to be that the territory that this new country of Biafra was going to be in included very, very rich oil reserves. And the British were not going to let go of that.
Wow.
And the people that they had put in power, you know, their puppet Nigerian governments weren't going to do that either, because they needed it for the Nigerian project.
Right.
And Britain needed it for its own interests and uses. So Great Britain got directly involved in this civil war and in the war for independence, and decided that they would do everything to make sure that Biafra did not go.
Wow.
And this everything meant directly funding genocide of the people of Biafra. They wanted to be separate from the country that the British Empire had imposed.
That is Dr. Ugo giving us some kind of background to the atrocity committed by the British against innocent Biafra in 1967, 1968, 69, and 70. But if anybody thinks that anything is going to change in Nigeria anytime soon, whether your pastor, your imam, or your traditional is telling you such, please do not listen to such nonsense. There is fire on the mountain in Nigeria, and that fire has been there since 1960, prior to that 1914, prior to that 1906, when the British amalgamation came in and destroyed the kingdom that were there prior before Nigeria. A lot of people thought that they were born to suffer. Nobody was born to suffer. It's a deliberate act to make you suffer by the Western power. And the reason for that is merging us together with the people that do not have the same common with us. People that doesn't understand why development is something that is good. But they know that development is good, but what they've done is they've craftily made it impossible for so many Nigerians. So an average Nigerian struggle to get to university or polytechnic or never even attend any of such, but is expected to live a normal life. No, you are not expected to live a normal life in Nigeria. Oh, forget a normal life. A life of the suffering and smiling, like Fela Nicola Kokutu said. But today, we have a lot of Nigerians, educated Nigerians, so to call themselves, hoping that the structure can be changed when a new government comes in place. Just the same way Boshe Kulungo, the fake fraudulent Muhammadu Buhari to you. But nobody gave you the background history of the collateral damage that Buhari did by removing a civilian government, Shehu Shagari, in 1983. And we saw that Buhari could not save your lives. And today, after so many years, a lot of you are now complaining, moaning. The gas price is gone up. Petrol is no longer available for an average Nigerian in a country that is meant to have a big deposit of crude oil. But the crude oil is not used for people in the southeast. Rather, the west enjoy the crude oil. But the few, the Otedolas, the Alakija, and the Tony Elemelu, and the few of them that are all in that caucus, the Dangotes, they all understand that should Nigeria work, then a lot of them will be challenged either through the normal court process, not the court process that has been asked to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but they refuse to do so. And that is why we can no longer continue in this sort of union that is not working. Let's hear this.
It is not in their hands, because you know what? Power belongs to the people.
anything we want is what we're going to get.
Once again, I want to ask this. Do you think this dream is realizable without a war? And are you prepared to fight another war?
This dream can be realized without a war. And let me put it this way, as soon as the people, the various ethnic groups in Nigeria realize what Nigeria means to each and every ethnic group, they will subscribe to our position. So it is realizable without a war. Before the white man came, let me ask you this, because it's an interview, which means
if there has to be a war, let there be one now and make Nigeria to be destroyed. That is the job that every one of us hold today. Nobody was born to suffer. Thank you so much, Mr. Kunle Bakers. As usual, I recognize you with your super chat each time you come in. Dele Momodu, as you can see him there with his big head, is also fighting to save Nigeria, bringing a fraudulent man, Atiku. And the job of every indigenous people is to make sure that Nigeria collapses. And that is one of our responsibility in 2023. Should we fail to do so, those of us outside, the Fulani will torture you before you get a Nigerian passport. That is for those that have not been able to get an international foreign passport from wherever you are living. And you probably even want to get a Nigerian passport even with your British passport. Some of you will be scrutinized before you can even get such passport in the near future. Some of you will not get the government help should you have any problem outside Nigeria like those in United Arab Emirates are facing today. There are more Nigerians in Cambodia, in Asia. There are more Nigerians in America that the government does not even have any responsibility on them. There are more Nigerians here in UK where the UK destroyed what should have been a kingdom, the Yoruba kingdom. Today, we are calling them the United Kingdom. We should also have been known as Yoruba Kingdom, the Igbo Kingdom, the Hausa Kingdom. But all these was destroyed in 1914, and so many things were looted and taken away to different parts of the globe today. Some of you don't even understand the amount of artifacts that is outside the geographical location known as Nigeria. The British knew very well that the Igbo and the Yorubas will be able to drive the mission of Nigeria if they were given that opportunity from the day one. Nobody was born to suffer is the topic today. The reason why you are suffering is because your politicians are ready to die using Dele Momodu, using Dino Malaye, using Festus Keyamo, using everybody to try to renew a new Nigeria, as they are calling it. Everybody knows that every part of what took place in the last 24 years of what is known as democracy in Nigeria is a shamble. But the bitter truth is, people like Dele Momodu, as you can see him there, playing the devil advocate, is fully campaigning for Atiku to come back to rule Nigeria. And he will tell you that he has no gain in it. And likewise, all these other fraudulent, corrupt Yoruba elite, they know the truth. That the truth is, if Nnamdi Kanu is saying that Nigeria can be divided without going to war, I will say that if we do not divide Nigeria by going into that war, your life will be more miserable and you will suffer. The little that you see or you saw during the 8 years of Buhari is just a small fraction of what is about to jump on your head. Some of you that we are telling that the unity of Nigeria was put together by the British government in 1914. The wicked British government that decided that the only thing that they can do after the slave trade. Some of your great-great-grandfather were thrown in the river or in the sea. And like I always say, Nigeria is at the verge of breakup, and it has to break now.
You can ask me questions, I can ask. Before the white man came, was there any Nigeria? Before the white man came, did Nigeria exist? It's a simple question that I'm asking you. Did Nigeria exist before?
It didn't, no.
It didn't exist.
If Nigeria did not exist, so why are we trying to defend what the white man created? Why are the Yorubas, the Igbo, the Hausa, why is everybody trying to defend what the white man created? Why must we defend what the white man created? For what reason? Why do we want to defend them? Why is it that we don't want to kill it now, even if we have to go to guerrilla warfare with the government? There's no way you can fight them, like I say, in a conventional war. But if everybody understands that the guerrilla warfare is part of what we are doing right now, the media, fighting them back to back, break up Nigeria so that your life will not remain the suffering. There's enough to go around in Nigeria, but the greediness of the fake government that is using the stooge of the kings in the southeast, in the north, and likewise in the southwest, in the middle belt, where all the kings get brand new vehicle from your governors. They all get paid, either through a proxies. They all get investment running underneath their nose, and they've all kept short, apart from few of them. But we know that a lot of the kings in Nigeria today are all criminals that should be stoned to death. Let's listen more to Nnamdi Kanu.
Then why are African people, black people dying over something that they did not create? Did any Yoruba man create Nigeria? The answer is no. No Igbo man created Nigeria. No Hausa man did. No Fulani man did. No Kanuri man did. No Jukun man did. When you come to Nigeria, it's always a debate about it is our turn. It is our turn. It is our turn to rule. Now there are.
And that is exactly what is playing out right now. Tinubu keeps saying that Emilokan, the drug baron, the criminal that used Lagos State to enrich himself and some of his cronies that are running around all over the world campaigning for him. Tinubu is a drug baron, cocaine pusher. He once lived in America and drug money was passing through his account. He did not deny that. So if anybody is telling you that Tinubu has integrity, tell them to show you where is that integrity of the drug baron, the Escobar that wants to become the Nigerian president. Tinubu, the drug baron, the cocaine pusher. I don't know why NDLA have not gone to Tinubu and arrest him and charge him for crime against humanity, for using Lagos State to fund his lifestyle. I was looking at one of his bank statements on Twitter yesterday, and so much dollars that he cannot even tell you that he's producing pencil. Tinubu does not have any production line in Nigeria today that I'm aware of. But we know that Tinubu is using the Lagos State and Alpha Beta that was set up to corrupt the Lagos State. I heard Chatima say Tinubu or Lagos State is generating 51 billion naira every month. Out of that 51 billion, 30 billion goes to Tinubu, the criminal guy. And some Yoruba will tell you, hey, don't talk like that. Amoluabi, don't talk like that. You want me to believe that Tinubu is a good guy. Tinubu is a criminal that is meant to be in the prison. But because the Western world love Tinubu, because they know that when Tinubu gets there, they will get a lot of contract, whether the contract is completed or not. So everybody is excited. It's election fever. Everybody is excited. Harika chop like Billy Momodu. Whatever they can chop now, just, the networking, I know this, I know that. It's all part of the crime against humanity. Nobody was born to suffer in Nigeria as an indigenous people. But you will suffer if you remain Nigeria, because that word Nigeria alone does not have any respect in the global community as we speak today. A lot of you are known as scammers, yahoo, criminals, just like Hush Puppy, that will serve a lot of prison time in America. A lot of you thought when we are outside and we tell you that the best thing for us now is to divide the country, is just to be. It is my turn, no. It is my turn. It is my turn to be the president. Atiku, it is my turn. Peter Obi, it's the Igbo turn. What Igbo turn? The North hate the Igbos. The Yoruba hate the Igbos. The Igbo hate the Yoruba. So why should we all believe that we love each other? If we live separately does not mean that I cannot marry an Igbo woman if I want to. Does not mean that I cannot marry an Hausa woman. Does not mean that I cannot go and live in the North if I think that it is worth living. A lot of Nigerians are living in some of the Arab countries and they respect living there because it's an Arab country. You don't go to an Arab country and you want to start promoting your own religion on them. You will be deported. Go to Oman and start to promote Christianity in any way like you do in that shithole country called Nigeria. You will be deported. But today, it is my turn. If you look on 2023, the Omo Yoruba that suck you dry in Lagos State, that make your life miserable. Look at them. No basic amenities in Lagos State throughout all the corrupt governors that have came through after Tinubu. And we see some of the idiotic Yorubas that are living here abroad. The Abroadians telling you, hey, Tinubu, we've come and fixed Nigeria. They are all trying to come and chop and steal. Some of them want to pay off their mortgage. They are criminals. They want to buy a house in Dagenham. They want to buy a house in outside London. They know that the moment Tinubu gets there, Tinubu will be worse than Buhari, and he will be worse than Jonathan, that was a drunkard. Jonathan was just drinking throughout his tenure as the president of Nigeria. And that is why Omokere is shouting at Atiku again, because Omokere made a lot of money during Jonathan. This is our breakfast morning, as we say, 2023 election is not the solution to the problem of Nigeria today. Let's go back and listen to our brother, Mazen Andekano.
250 main ethnic groups in Nigeria. If you keep rotating the presidency every 8 years to each and every ethnic group, times 8 by 250, how many years are you going to get? So some people will die many times over. They will reincarnate many times over. The presidency hasn't come to them. Nigeria is a joke and an absolute mess. It was not created by black people. Therefore, it cannot be sustained.
Nigeria, you think it's God that created. Ẹ rò pé Ọlọ́run ló ní kẹ́ máa jìyà ní Nàìjíríà náà. Ọlọ́run ò ní ká jìyà. Àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn ló jẹ́ kẹ́ máa jìyà. Ẹ dẹ̀ máa jìyà yẹn pẹ́. And that's why they can go different places, parties, church, and then use camouflage. They are all guy man lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọba Nàìjíríà, àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. They are guy man. The stooge we respect, but not the personality of a lot of them. We respect the stooge. Oria territory, we respect it, but not the individuals, because a lot of them are guy man. They are just political stooge. But ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá, you are waiting for the Afenifere to come and solve the problem of Yoruba people. The Afenifere try their best, and their best is now to let those that are really campaigning to destroy Nigeria. Because the Afenifere, should have destroyed Nigeria by pulling out of the unity of Nigeria. The Olori Buruko Naize that is putting bounty on the head of Simon Ekpa should have put bounty on the head of all their governors so that when their head comes to any one of them, they can give the $50,000 to anybody that brings the head of their governors. For all these mad people all over the place are the reason for your suffering. God did not create you in Igbo land to suffer. Imagine the amount of crude oil in Igbo land, in the southeast of Nigeria as it's called, or if you want to say the Biafra land. Imagine the opportunity even in the north. They have the weather. We could have turned that into, another Tesla using the energy that Eledumare gave them and all other opportunity that they have. Every region has opportunity, but the British Empire destroyed that in 1914. And today, this is what they use to destroy your life more. The military camouflage. You see them vesting muscle. They cannot kill the Boko Haram that is killing. Because the Boko Haram is the same military man. And if you don't believe that, maybe we should just let you listen one more time to these again. If you think that you have a military that will solve your problem, our military in Gongon, they are all compromised. And every single one of you will die.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movement. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Once again, a very good morning. It's just coming up to 6 a.m. Wednesday, 25th of January. As I keep telling those at home, the reason why you're suffering is because Nigeria was not designed to work. Obasanjo told you to go and do whatever you need to do to uproot all these criminals. You think Obasanjo is have time to come and uproot it for you?
Now, you see, you Obina, you have everything going for you. And I don't want you to feel discouraged. Please, things are bad in Nigeria, but I believe it's only for a short time. Because it depends on you. Whatever my generation might have done wrong, and I would be the first to admit that my generation has done a lot wrong, it's for your generation to do it better.
And you believe that you can do anything better in Nigeria. Obasanjo says whatever his generation have done, he will be the first one to apologize. But it is my own generation to come and fix Nigeria. How? With the structure that was laid down by the West to destroy Nigeria. Obasanjo, the evil man, that also destroyed Nigeria. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá kò sẹ́ni kankan tó bí pé kó jìyà. Nigeria is a project. And that project means that you can be used as anything, as statistics. The capital poverty of the world, the number 6 global terrorism index. And nobody should believe that nonsense that IPOB is a terrorist organization. That is just another Western agenda. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ò gbọdọ̀ gba gbogbo nonsense yẹn gbọ́. Gbogbo ìgbà tó bá ti ń sọ fún yín pé IPOB is a terrorist organization, tell them that Fulani that Buhari brought into the territory of Nigeria today is the terrorist and not the IPOB. Let's listen to this old fool man that is talking nonsense.
Don't just sit down and complain. Don't just sit down and complain. Sitting down and complain is like the anger of the cripple. You're on the same time, you will be on the same ground, on the same level, that you have to be proactive. And you have to make sure you get enough of what I call critical mass of people, like-minded people, who will direct.
The like-minded people today are the Yorubas, the Biafrans. We must work hand in hand to bring down Nigeria, either by peace or pieces. When the British came to invade Nigeria during those era, they did not come with the Bible or the Quran or stick. They came with guns, weapons. And those weapons was the reason why they were able to destroy the kingdom that we have there. But today, if we do not have the exact same manpower or the same what the Nigerian government have, we will use whatever we have to enlighten you, which is part of what we are doing right now, the guerrilla warfare of media, by giving you every reason that should you renew a new Nigeria, you will still suffer. Nobody can rectify the damage that the British done since 1914. The best thing now is for the amalgamation, the dissolution of Nigeria. We don't need to fight each other. But because some do not want such to happen, especially the northern part of Nigeria, or the Caliphate, where Saudi Arabia respect the northern Yoruba, the northern Muslim, than the Yoruba Muslim. I pity a lot of Muslims that are in the southwest. Saudi Arabia does not recognize you as Muslims. Anything to bambo láti Saudi Arabia, north ló máa kọ́kọ́ lọ, and the north decide which side the other part goes. They don't even believe in the Christian anyway. The Saudi doesn't believe in the Christianity. And that's why they were able to kill that man in Turkey some few years ago. I pity a lot of Yoruba people. You think because you're a Muslim, your Muslim is not respected by the Saudi Arabians. And Saudi is also one country that is currently backing this evil government. A lot of you think that you were born to suffer. Nobody was born to suffer. It is a deliberate act. Láti jẹ́ kí ìyà máa jẹ yín. And a lot of you will suffer more before we bring down the contraction known as Nigeria.
Ready to say, yes, we can bring about a change. And you can bring about a change if you get the critical mass of people that are ready to slug it out. I always say when people say, hey, well, when will this old hag go out of the way politically? They won't go out of the way.
You think they want to go out of the way when Dele Momodu is giving his full media support to somebody like a criminal Atiku? Can you imagine that? You think they want to go away when those fraudulent Nigerians that are all scammers trying to bring Peter Obi? I pity the lives of so many of you. You will not get the basic things of life. And a lot of you will just die without enjoying this world. And don't let anybody fool you that when you die, you're going to one heaven. No, okay? Enjoy this world first before you think about heaven. All the sufferness, going to charge your phone in your next door neighbor, taking drips at home when you should be in the hospital, no education for the youth, no security. An average Nigerian cannot move anymore from point A to B. The miserable life is biting you every day. And it's just the beginning. That miserable life will bite more of you. As I show you these, interest rate is high, job losses, crisis looms, one's OPS. More of you will cry. Those of you that disagree that Nigeria should be de-amalgamated and dissolved, such as Soviet Union did in 1991, 16 or 15 countries came out of Soviet Union. And as you can see from some of the headline coming out of Nigeria, you think Nigeria will change anytime soon? I can only pity those that are thinking in that direction. Not somebody like me, because I have told you so many times that Nigeria is deliberately to fail. Let's look at this headline. Interest rate, and today's date is 25th of January 2023, 7 minutes past 6 a.m. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátápátá níbikíbi tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ mi tí ẹ ti ń wò mí. Ètò lórí ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation òun náà ni a ṣì ń ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí. Look at this headline. I come back to this one. Let me open another one. I just saw another headline there. Hey, go and conduct. I just saw something that Ooni of Ife said there. It's all lies. Conduct a modern research to raise Africa culture. How can you raise Africa culture in Nigeria, Kábíyèsí? Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ raise Africa culture inside a shithole country like Nigeria when the Yoruba should be a country? You should know better. Kábíyèsí ó yẹ kẹ́ mọ̀ now. Jaja the second, Ooni of Ife. Kábíyèsí knows that the Yoruba nation is the only option. But we are told that his views cannot be heard outside. Why? He's a paramount ruler, and whatever he says is the final. But today, they're still trying to save the one Nigeria. A very good morning and welcome to the live transmission. The Ooni of Ife, Obainitan Ogunwusi, has charged members of the academics to conduct research to modernize the culture of African people, so as to promote it among the cultures of other peoples in the world. Oba, how can you promote a culture from Nigeria? If we want to promote our culture, all we need to do first is move out of Nigeria, become a nation, and straight away we will have our own culture, our language, and that will then be sold to every part of the globe today. But these are part of what you love to read. Hey, Kábíyèsí sọ̀rọ̀, hey, we're going to raise, do research and raise African culture. How are you going to raise African culture in Nigeria? Nigeria is not a country. The king knows himself. He knows very well that Nigeria is not a country, that we, the Yoruba, were a kingdom that have been in existence for a very, very long time with a lot of evidence to back that. Nigeria is only how many years old today? Less than 108 years. And this artifact that came from Ile-Ife, that I'm sure the Kábíyèsí himself has had opportunity, or the opportunity to have seen it before, which is the artifact that was trying to be sold here in UK. This artifact is 700 years old from Ile-Ife. Are we saying that Kábíyèsí does not know about this? Kábíyèsí knows. But the problem is, Kábíyèsí wants me to talk about how we do research to raise African culture, when our culture has already been removed by the white man into their own museum. If we have a Yoruba country today, an Oduduwa nation today, straight away our culture will be respected, and we can sell that culture back to Argentina, to Morocco, to any part of the globe, and more people will travel down. Not raising or doing research of African culture in Nigeria of today. Oba Ogunwusi made the assertion while speaking at the inauguration of Professor Jelili Ojuade as the third Vice Chancellor of Crown Hill University, Eyinkanrin, Ilorin, Kwara State, yesterday. The monarch, who was represented at the event by Wase of Ilara Ife, Oba Olasodi Zakos, and the High Chief Oluwole Bode Thomas, Laden of Ife, watched the display of different kinds of Yoruba dancing exhibited by Anyogalu Dancing Group and the student of Performing Art Department of the University of Ilorin and Performing Art and Film Production Department of Kwara State University, respectively, say that the people of Africa have a rich culture. which can be learned and emulated by people of other countries in the world. How are they going to learn it in Nigeria, my king? The king wants us to say that they can come and learn our culture, but they will learn it inside Nigeria. Speaking through Oba Olasodi, Oni said, I want to implore members of the academics to step up research into various African cultures so as to make it known to other people in other parts of the world. The monarch charged the academics to always show commitment to whatever field that they specialize in, their academic programs, and added that they should show tenacity and be committed in their field of specialization in any area of study in their academic career. Oni, who is the chancellor of the university, said that he knew Ojuade, a professor of performance and cultural studies, who specialized in dancing study that could have made a lot of money if truly. This is another one. How I was beaten by police officer. Nigeria, the crime scene. Shito country. Nigeria at the verge of breakup. I do not own the copyright to the video. Let's listen. I do, idiot. They go beat the hell more out of a lot of you in the next 4 years. If I'm sure this one, we don't know whether it's supporting Yoruba. I do, mumu people. You do. You don't have a police force. All you have is criminal element of police that is destroying your lives. I do. They'll beat the hell out of so many of you. A lot of you will die in the hands of the police in that shitty country called Nigeria. Let's listen a little bit more. I am asking now, is this guy meant to suffer in Nigeria? If not, the corrupt politicians, the corrupt kings, the corrupt system. If you commit a crime in UK, you will be taken into the police custody and that crime will be dealt with. But in Nigeria, he's already been dealt with. They've shoot his leg, they've tear gas him, just as they kill innocent Yoruba people during the protests in Ojota, just as the young boy at Ojuelegba was strangled to death and the grandmother died over the weekend. In last week, just as a police officer killed the woman in Aja, Abeyeti Gbagbe, just as Jumoke Bamishe was killed. Nigeria at the verge of breakup. Should you not allow Nigeria to break? Remember this woman. She was killed. This young boy was killed. Who is the next to be killed? At least you are lucky to tell your story. This one is lucky to tell his story. Hey, were you born to suffer? No. Are you supporting Yoruba Nation? No. Maybe it's part of people that is supporting Tinubu. Think that Tinubu, because a Yoruba man, a drug baron, a cocaine pusher. They shoot you, let's say. You was shot in the leg. Good for you. You will all suffer in Nigeria before we go. If I shoot me, let's say, at least you survived. This woman did not survive. This young boy did not survive. Bamishe did not survive. Bamishe was killed. Bamishe Anyanwola. Bamishe was killed in Nigeria. So what are you talking about? At least you survived. We would have been happy if Bamishe survived. She did not survive. She died. elderly mother, elderly father, what are they going to do? They've already accepted their fate. So if you are still there saying you were shot in the leg, you better go and treat your leg in a hospital that is not going to take care of you in the first place. You will suffer more. Shut up. Let's come about your job. Some of you think that you have a job very soon. Idiot. There's no job in Nigeria, okay? Even the one that is driving Okada, he was almost killed. He's lucky. How I was beaten and shot in the leg by a mobile police officer in Lagos. Messed up country. Your life is in danger should you let us remain in Nigeria. Interest rate hike, job losses, crisis loom, warns OPS. There will be more crises as you think that we are the one that wants to create war in Nigeria. My job from the media is to use the guerrilla warfare of the media to destroy Nigeria before Nigeria destroy more of you. But a lot of you that let's talk about this article. And let me raise it up a little bit because some of you say, I didn't see it properly. You better listen now, okay? These are the things that you don't hear all the time. Members of the organized private sector have described the latest hike. Let me go and give you the dictionary meaning of something. Hike. I know what it is, but let us all learn again this morning. And the pronunciation? Hike. One more time. Hike. One more time. Hike. A long walk or walking tour. Walk for a long distance, especially across the country. So in Tubank hike. This is kind of a opportunity when we have a country where people come and do hiking. But okay, we should have even looked at it in a sentence, but it's okay. We know that describe the latest hike, the long distance, the long walk. Some of you think because you got 2-1 after graduating, 7 years down the line, you are still looking for a job. My name is OLAMILEKAN. It's 19 minutes past 6 a.m. the Wednesday, 25th of January, 2023. Election is not the solution to the contraction of Nigeria. Nigeria must be divided. Nigeria must be de-amalgamated so that our lives can become better. Kerosene is now 1,000 naira. A bag of rice is 46,000 naira. Chicken is 10,000 naira. A loaf of bread is 1,000 naira. Fuel is 300 naira. Dollar 740. Pounds 920. Who is the next person? Which one is this again? Every day na problem in that shitty country. Which one is this again? I returned from work to find my son lifeless. No, listen to this one again. Yeah, sorry, it's Nigeria. Yeah, sorry, mama. Yeah. Yeah, no, listen to this one again. Atrocity every day.
I rushed him, body school, locked. It's a very big shop.
10 years old, big shop.
See the cops on the ground. That's a lot of dreams. All his dreams have been shattered away.
All his dreams will be shattered. It is only in Nigeria. So many lives destroyed. Nobody was born to suffer. We have given you 2 different videos now. We saw this one and we saw another one. Oh, that's how they do. Hey, 5.3 million people have watched it. Hey, thank you so much. How does that make any impact to the body of this lifeless boy that has been killed in Nigeria? Let's watch again.
Before the inflation that was more than
Chukwuemeka, I believe, is from Igbo land, Biafra land. I hope the father support Biafra, or is still one of those supporting one Nigeria. May Nigeria not happen to any one of us. You better say amen.
On the September 6th, 2007.
Wow. He was born September 6, 2007. So this boy is about 15 years old, if I'm right. Sure.
It was on the 10th of October, on Monday morning, when I woke up.
I believe this was last year.
That was the last time I saw him. In fact, a few days after work, he closed work by 6 o'clock. I was coming home. As I entered my street, I heard a lot of people making noise, people crying, screaming. So me approaching my home more closer, I saw a lady. I asked her what is happening there.
Yeah.
She don't know.
How will she know? She doesn't want to tell you.
That four-story building. I'm getting home. I opened the door. Saw my son lying on the ground. Faced the ground. His hands had been tied behind him. I rushed in, touched him. His body's cool, locked. I screamed. Started calling neighbors around, calling people that are closer to me. So what he did next was to go to our police station and report the matter.
Police station.
Came immediately. Even the DPO, his men, they came to my house immediately. I didn't see anything because that fateful day was public holidays. So he was at home. He was the only one at home. In my flat, he was the only one in my own apartment. But to have people in the compound, he's in SS2 and he has a computer teacher because what is always in what do they call it, coding. The teacher is teaching them coding in that computer class. And he's telling me about that coding. Our coding is very nice. That with that coding, you can be successful in life. So, and he has a lot of dreams because I have an in-law.
His dream has been shattered by Nigeria.
He has a lot of dreams. All his dreams have been shattered.
Shattered.
I've not seen any sign. He's very friendly. Anytime I call
How did he die, Baba?
He's always busy with his laptop studying.
Have they done any thorough investigation? Or they've just put it under the carpet as usual?
He minds his own business. He's always at home. He's not a troublesome boy. I took my son corpse to the mortuary. Deposit to the mortuary.
Can't live with the dead body in the house. Police. Further investigation. That one is gone, Baba. And it's so rest in peace. Let's come back again and talk about the one I was looking into. Members of the private sector have described the latest hike in the nation's benchmark interest rate as an unfortunate development, saying it would worsen business crises, job losses, slow down economic growth. There's never been economic growth in the first place, okay? These are the indices that Nigeria is going down on a daily basis, not because of the Biafra nation agitation, not because of the Yoruba nation agitation. It's because Nigeria is failing every day. There's no money in Nigeria. It's bankrupt. They spoke against the backdrop of the Monetary Policy Committee hike of the monetary policy rate from 16.5% to 17.5%, despite a slight drop in the inflation rate in December 2022. The decision was taken at the MPC first meeting of 2023, with the committee citing fears of a fresh rising inflation as its reason. The development came exactly 1 month before 2023 general election scheduled to hold on February 24th. During the last MPR meeting in November 2022, the CBN again hiked the benchmark interest rate to 16.5% as a steps-up effort to curb inflation that rose to 21%. This is the reason why you are poor. The inflation today is just so much because you're not producing anything, so don't expect anything. 21.9% in October 2022. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, had reported that prices decelerated to 21.34% in December from 21.47%. However, following the Central Bank of Nigeria increase of the MPR in November 2022, maximum lending rate rose to 29.9%. That's even if they can borrow you money. Go to your bank and tell them to borrow you money. I'm sure you probably have to have a big collateral. But if I was meant to borrow money here in UK, like I was showing you yesterday, if I wanted to borrow money from Barclays Bank, All I have to do is to have a good credit. Okay, if I have any good credit, then all I do is I go into my bank website and I do what I call either personal loan, ni mo fẹ́, àbí business loan, and I can borrow at 8.9% APR. Okay, you will have to borrow at 29.30%. Okay, we're going to So those of you that are wondering why you are poor in Nigeria, these are some of the reasons that you are poor. These are the reasons why things are becoming very, very nasty in Nigeria of today. And a lot of you think that prayer can solve this problem. No, Nigeria has gone past the stage of prayer. What needs to be done now is allow the country to dissolve. But the more that you are saying that you want politicians to come, well, you will not enjoy the kind of life that we are enjoying here. There was also a coronavirus and your bank loan. What is a personal loan? A personal loan could be a simple way to borrow with a fixed interest that is personal to you. How do personal loans work? Well, we will tell you what your loan rate is before you apply. This won't affect your credit score. Then you can apply in online banking or on the Barclays app. If we approve your application, we will pay the money into your account straight away. You will pay your money back over your agreed term. So many Nigerians have borrowed money to come and invest in Nigeria. They've lost. And now they are doing extra work to repay back the loan. Or don't you know that most of the businesses that people are bringing to Nigeria, mad people all over the place. You can borrow up to £13,000 at 8.9% based on the details you enter. And that will give you £225 every month. Imagine so many Nigerians that have borrowed up to £20,000, some 30,000, 40, depending on how good your credit score and the kind of job that you have. They've pumped that money into the shithole economy of Nigeria in 2015 before Buhari came or after Buhari. Some people thought maybe when Buhari came, they can make more money. Hey, let's go and invest in Nigeria. Everybody wants to invest in Nigeria. Invest in Nigeria. But nobody is telling you that there is a danger investing in a country where there is insecurity. There is a danger because you cannot send goods from Lagos to Kano without any problem. You cannot send goods from Lagos to even Southeast without any problem. And most of the goods have to go through, the rigorous, what we call, road network that is as bad. And if you're thinking that you want to send a good because they're building all these fake train, okay, you're wasting your time. So if you're of the view that a train services in Nigeria will solve your problem, maybe I should take you through the last train derail in that shithole country called Nigeria, so you can see all these locomotives that they brought in. This is Nigeria for you. Let's watch this. Nigeria is at the verge. You can see in 2023. Men are not scatter. This place no good. I beg. They are making arrangements. Shithole country. Let's watch. I believe this one is a bit longer. Let's watch this video.
The fatal accident.
The fatal accident. The fatal accident.
See how God deliver us.
Everything are God. Everything we call God. There's always a train derailment here in UK. Maybe I should show you. And nobody calls God. By now, people will have been sacked. Train accident, because I've witnessed some here in UK. Train accident. I've witnessed some here in UK before. London. Accident does happen. So don't think that it doesn't happen. Let me see the quickest one I can bring in a video. So don't think that accident does not happen. Ladbroke Grove rail crash 20 years on. The survivors of the Paddington rail disaster have raised concern over whether lessons have really been learned. This was 2019. And let me bring the one that is even closer, which is Enfield Town Crash. There was one that is somewhere in Enfield. Let's see if we find another one. Which one is this? Okay, August. Range Rover smashed onto London track. Okay, so we do have accidents here as well. So don't think that UK is immune. 2 injured after train crash, and this was 2022. So let's watch. Once again, a very good morning.
When the 745 from Liverpool Street failed to stop at the end of the line, it crashed into the buffers and rose into the air. And there the rush hour train sat, perched at the end of platform 2 at Enfield Town, with the roof of the leading carriage perilously close to the 25,000-volt overhead power line. Mehmet, who runs a minicab firm, heard the crash from his office in the station and helped evacuate the concourse.
I just opened the door to have a look at it. I've seen what I've seen. A lot of the people were gathering out here, coming inside, and I said to them, would you please, anyone who's got nothing to do with the train, get out and clear the area for the emergency services. And that's what I did.
Amazingly, no passengers were seriously hurt. There were just 2 minor injuries, including the driver who was treated for shock. Transport from...
So don't think that accident does not happen here in the United Kingdom. It does happen. So Kemafikwe, maybe UK is immune to accident of train. Things have happened, and sometimes they can be worse. Okay? This was 20 years ago. This guy was explaining when there was another accident. So, but in Nigeria, as we know, all these Chinese locomotives that Amechi, the criminal guy, brought in to deceive Nigeria and paint it green, white, green. Eventually, some of them they should not be in services. Let's listen to this.
Factor succeeded this morning from my deputy.
A very good morning to you, my brother Ijaya. Good morning to everyone that have joined us. As you are saying, good morning. Okay, no. Again, the topic this morning is no one was born to suffer, but not like Nigeria, where your politicians make life worse for you all.
To Itakwe. See how the train cut into four parts.
If this train services was well checked in the morning, the day before, services, this would not have happened. But because everywhere is corrupt in Nigeria, the most corrupt country in the world, the most criminal element of people that do not want Nigeria to break because they don't want everything to be automated. This train would have been able to be detecting the problem ahead. But here we go, problem. That is the evil. You need protection here. You are inside the bush. You are inside the bush. You are inside the bush. I pity a lot of you that are hoping that Nigeria will be a great country. Not somebody like us, anyway. So let's leave that alone and come back again to these. So, like I was giving an example, if I was going to get a loan in UK, where I have lived for the last 2 decades, as long as I have a good job, as long as I'm able to afford it, I can take a personal loan or a business loan for up to 60 months at an APR of 8.9. I can get a loan of up to £10,000. Maybe I want to refurbish my kitchen. I want to tidy up my house. I can get a loan and then I can start paying back bit by bit. And if it's for business, there's also another opportunity. But in Nigeria, you will need a lot of collateral, okay, before you can even think of getting a loan. Nigeria is not working. Let's come back here. A lot of you will be tortured by the Boko Haram. You will be kidnapped. It's not a cause. It is because Nigeria is not working. Nigerian students face rape, torture, hard labor in Boko Haram and bandit captivity. Imagine Nigerians still in the hands of captivity of the Boko Haram. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín Boko Haram ti kidnap yín, and that is why today you cannot even, say anything much. And when we are here telling you that we should all prepare for the massive rally that can shut down Nigeria, the guerrilla warfare rally, the protest, whatever you want to call it, some of you are saying that we want to bring problem to Nigeria. But Nigeria is already in a lot of problem. And one of that problem is the headline coming yesterday. Nigerian student faces rape, torture, hard labor in Boko Haram and bandits. There's nothing like bandits. They are terrorists, okay? But this is what Nigerian government, Lai Mohammed, the evil monster man, is telling the media in Nigeria to keep writing. As of the 2022, Amnesty International has published that Boko Haram and terrorist armed groups have kidnapped over 1,500 school children. Imagine, 1,500 school children have been kidnapped. If you invest in Nigeria, you're wasting every penny because you are not going to get anything back. Your family are going to dupe you. They're going to try to kill you, and they will not realize that you took a loan from Barclays Bank or any of these high street banks. Nigerian authority must uphold children's right to education in northern Nigeria for where? I want to lie. It's not going to happen. As the world commemorates International Day of Education today, which was yesterday, Amnesty International condemns the adoption of 6 primary school pupils in Doma. Imagine, primary school. Boko Haram kidnapped them. Nasarawa State in the early hours of Friday, which was last week Friday, 20th of January 2023. Are there the Igbo people that went to kidnap people in Nasarawa? Are we the Yoruba that went to kidnap people in Nasarawa? Nigeria is not working. This happened. 6 primary school children. Imagine if terrorists go into primary school and kidnap 6 people in UK. What do you think is going to happen? The whole street will be protest. There will be damage of things. But the gullible Nigerians are sitting there and praying to God to come down and solve the problem. There are so many reasons to come out, jadi, come out, binu, come out, protest. But there we go. Idiotic people telling me that I am the one that wants to destroy Nigeria. 6, how many people hear about this before? 6 primary school pupils. Ni Nasarawa were kidnapped on Friday to Kojai. Also, gunmen adopted 6 pupils, 3 girls, 3 boys, aged 4 to 6 years old in Nasarawa again, at another primary school. Imagine Nasarawa alone, 12 people were kidnapped between last week. Are they the Igbo people? Why is the military not putting their muscle to help people in Nasarawa? They cannot do so. You know why? I will tell you again. Danjuma told us that before, and let's see if we can get the voice of Danjuma into the broadcast. My name is OLAMILEKAN, and this is just our quick early morning program, just to remind you that nobody was born to suffer, but everyone now is hoping that things will change, but nothing is going to change because T.Y. Danjuma told us what we need to know. Let's listen to him.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
That is former, Chief of Army Staff T.Y. Danjuma saying that if anybody is waiting, thinking that these criminality going on in Nigeria, somebody is going to come and help you. And like I always say to you, the quickest job I can always get in this country as a kitchen porter, I can make a lot of money, okay? At 22,000 pounds per annum, it will be a lot of hard work, but at least I will make money. I'll be probably earning about £2,000 or thereabout if I'm doing extra hours. But a lot of you think that by sitting here every day, trying to educate you, trying to tell you the reason why you need to get the hell out of Nigeria, you think that we can't have opportunity here. We have opportunity. But this one we are doing is called is a call of duty for me to be here, educating you, advising you, as we say all the time. As we only have about 20 minutes at exactly 7 o'clock, we'll be winding down this program this morning. We thank you for those of you that have joined us and those that are listening to us on the MixLR, on Instagram, on all the platforms. We have 10 people that are listening to us, and from wherever you're listening to me, my name is OLAMILEKAN. Nobody, once again, was born to suffer. Iditation suffer is because the nature of what Nigeria has done today is why a lot of you are suffering. So just before we go, let's go back to the students again. 4 of the adopted pupils remain in captivity. Only God knows what they are doing to them. This is the latest in the string of adoptions of school children in the northern Nigeria. There is no military to help them, but the military are now versing muscle. We will go to the southeast. If anybody wants to stop election, we will deal with them. Woto Promax must be used to make sure that you take off the military that wants to come and do any nonsense there. You have the right under Article 51 to defend yourself. If the military shoot at you, you have the right to defend yourself with whatever you have to defend yourself with. Don't wait for Amnesty International to use you as statistics. Don't wait for the European Union. Anybody, ibikíbi tí sójà tó bá ti attack you, any right láti defend ara yín. And if you're waiting for me to start doing expansion of that, you must be stupid, because you should know by now that you have the right to defend yourself. I have told you that so many times under Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. Nothing in the present charter shall impair the inherent right of individual as Yoruba people or collective self-defense if an armed attack occurs against a member of the United Nations, because Nigeria is a member of the United Nations. If you are right there in Nigeria today, continue to remember that Nigeria is a member of the United Nations, and if the Nigerian soldier attack you, you should defend yourself under Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. Defend yourself with whatever you can find. I don't need to go into any of the details. Until the Security Council has taken measures necessary to maintain international peace and security. When you defend yourself, then we would then have to be dragged together with the Nigerian government to United Nations Security Council, where they will now ask questions. Kilo Shele, Nigerian soldier kill us, and we defend ourselves. But today, everybody comes on the social media. Hey, what if hey, what is blah blah blah. No, you don't do that. What you do is action with respect to treat the peace. Nobody is thinking that you will not be attacked. But if you attack, you have the right to attack as well. Nobody was born to suffer. The Nigerian government created a sufferness. Thank you so much, Ijaya General. And like I always say, I back everything I talk to you with exact evidence. If you want to read this, go on there. You will find it there. Oh, you know, what is suspect way? Everybody have the right to defend yourself. But defend that? No, you must be stupid to be asking me such question. Whatever you can find, if you can take the one that is in their hands, take it from them. That is part of self-defense. Don't sit here and be asking questions as if, you know, you shame in myself, Boshima báyàwó ẹ̀sùn, àbí Boshima bá girlfriend ẹ̀sùn nínú ilé. Ṣé tó bá gbé wọnú yàrá pẹ̀lú girlfriend ẹ̀, ò ní mọ bí tó, ò ní mọ bó ṣe fẹ́ bá sùn. Ṣé o máa wá pè mí, Mr. Koiki, báwo ṣe máa bá ìyá yìí sùn, báwo ṣe máa bá ọmọ yẹn sùn, ò ní mọ̀ yẹn àbí. Everybody will tó bá yá etí yẹn là. Self-defense is allowed. If you are under any threat by the Nigerian government, self-defense is allowed under international law. And let me tell you, self-defense is available as defense of crime committed by the use of force, the basic principle of self-defense. If anybody wants to attack you, you must be ready to defend yourself. It does not matter whether it's the Nigerian security, whether it's anybody. Your right to self-defense is priority. And let me quickly tell you, what is self-defense? It refers to the use of force to repel an attack. You will use a force. Mr. Koiki, no, you will also find anything to repel the attack. That is how it is done, and you must not sit back and wait for IGBOHO before you attack back. If you attack, you must not wait for Baba Akintoye. They will not tell you to attack, but they will tell you that if you attack, you must be ready to defend yourself. Do not allow Nigerian security to buffoon you. If we start defending ourselves, both us and the Nigerian military will be taken to the United Nations Security Council, where we would now be questioned, Kilo Faja, and now we can start telling them, Ito Faja Lile. Like I always say, if there is no push on the Yoruba nation, then we will continue to just educate you on the social media like this until everybody is well prepared. Once again, self-defense is even allowed here in United Kingdom. You must be ready to protect your life. Self-defense. In case you don't know, let me open it a little bit more. For some of you, you don't understand when we sit here. You think we sit here as a IGBOHO media. No, we are here to educate you so that you are fully prepared of whatever is going to happen. Because Nigeria is not big to capture every part of Nigeria. The whole Nigerian military today is not up to 500,000. So what makes you think that they can defend Nigeria? They cannot defend themselves, not to talk of Nigeria. That's why the military are being killed by the Boko Haram every day, because Nigerian military is already infiltrated by the same terrorist that was brought into the country. As we are just about 12 minutes away, let me quickly also tell you your right as Yoruba people under the international law. What is self-defense? It refers to the use of force to repel an attack or imminent threat of attack directed against oneself or other, or a legally protected interest. Self-defense in international law refers to inherent right of a state. But because it is the state that is attacking you, you as a citizen must now also defend yourself against that state, like Nigeria as a monster. To use of force in response to an armed attack. Nobody is going to come and tell you all this in those contractions in Nigeria. 1514, according to United Nations resolution, gives us the right as self-determination. But it is very easy. Latima Soyelo is social media. It's very easy for me to read it out to you. But the only way it's going to work is when we have millions of Yoruba people that stood and stand, with these self-determination right. We must be ready to defend ourselves. We must be prepared to make sure that our right under self-determination will be respected. Declaration on the granting of independence to colonial countries and people. This was adopted on the 14th of December 1960 under the General Assembly Resolution 1514. 10 minutes before the end of the program this morning, let's go quickly into it again. Once again, my name is OLAMILEKAN Koiki, and this is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps as we continue to educate and enlighten many Nigerians that nobody was born to suffer. Nigerian politicians, your kings, the international community, the Western world has literally made you to be going through the reason why a lot of you are suffering under the nose of what is called Nigeria today. Ji Masun Omo Yoruba. I'm just going to go straight into it quickly. The subjection of people to align subjugation. What do you know by meaning of subjugation? Nigeria is already, doing that on us as we speak right now. Once again, a very good morning and welcome to the live broadcast. As I always say, Nigeria is at the verge of breakup. And it will break up whether we like it or not. Subjugation.
Subjugation.
Again.
Subjugation.
One more time.
Subjugation.
The action of bringing someone or something under domination or control. As we speak today, there is subjugation in Nigeria by the Fulani that is holding us backwards. And if anybody that is living outside the country thinks that you are better off than the people at home, you are also under the second slavery. Wakawi titi titi with all your PhD abroad. Well, you probably get something going, but not exactly what will favor you. Why not let us work together now and do whatever we need to do to wind out the contraction known as Nigeria. Once again, my name is OLAMILEKAN. I'm just about 8 minutes before ending this program this morning. And as you can see behind me, the damage that Buhari done is what is going there. From 2015, Buhari destroyed Nigeria. Subjugation, domination, and exploitation constitute a denial of fundamental human rights. Is contrary to the Charter of the United Nations and is an impediment to the promotion of world peace and cooperation. Number two, all peoples have the right to self-determination. Ìyẹn easy láti máa sọ, any right to self-determination, but tá a bá jáde síta, or where that right will not go anywhere. Inú yàrá wa ló máa wà. But tá a bá ti bọ́ sí títì, block everything we need to block. Make sure that we hold the government accountable so that election does not hold in Nigeria. But if you think that election is going to solve your problem, good luck to those of you that believe in such. Not people like us that believe that election will solve our problem. Nigeria cannot survive another 40 years. Nigeria cannot survive another 62 years. At some point, if we do it now, it's better. If you let it be to run again, some people will make bastard money, corrupt money. They will buy houses abroad. Some of them are now wise. They're not going to bring their money to UK because UK is becoming a little bit cheap for them. So they'll probably go to all these Caribbean countries, get a citizenship there. You can with about probably maybe $1 million. You get a citizenship of somewhere of all these Caribbean countries. They need money. The economy is not very good. So probably $1 million. They'll probably take it from you and give you a citizenship. You buy a house there, and then it becomes your second home, and then you can be living a better life. And you can use that passport to travel to UK anyway, because some of those countries, as long as you have their passport, you can make it to UK. And when you're going back to Nigeria, you present your Nigerian passport traveling back. Most politicians have 2 passports. Saraki have 2 passports. Dino Malaye must have 2 passports. Every one of them, when they're traveling around the world, one more passport they must present at a particular immigration point. But you idiotic Nigerians keep running after them, thinking that, when you see them giving you 20,000 naira, 20,000 naira, credit into your account. Hey, Babalaye. I can see Dino Malaye, fooling himself yesterday, falling up and down the way. So it is easy, Kamasope, we have the right to self-determination. But to make it to materialize, everybody must be prepared to come down and fight it once and for all. As we say all the time, our job here is to use guerrilla warfare tactics, which is from the media perspective, to bring down Nigeria, whatever and however it has to be. It could be any time of the day. This platform is 24 hours, so I can be online. Any one of us can be online at any time, just to remind you as usual. As I leave you in the hands of Eledumare again this morning, remember that our hands is our destiny. Our Walua is not in the hands of Redeemed Christian Church, Pentecost, Seleadura, KICC, whatever, Ahmadiyya, Nigeria Muslim. No. Our destiny, our Walua. If you think that you want to use your hand to bring back PVC and use that to vote in Atiku, Peter Obi, and Kwankwaso, Chewore, or Tinubu, the drug baron, the cocaine pusher, that is entirely your own cup of tea, not mine. But if everybody believes that the time is right now to say bye-bye to Nigeria and let's say bye-bye to Rada. Nobody was born to suffer. We are all born to make it in life. The reason why you're suffering today is in the hands of your corrupt politicians, your corrupt kings, your Bale. But one thing is, my job as a media is to enlighten you, is to continue to tell you that we will do whatever we have to do. Thank you so much to all those that are listening on Twitter. I've just been told that we have about 60 people on Twitter. How many people have a Twitter account? If you do not have a Twitter account, It is very, very, important that you go and register for that. It is one of our tools as a guerrilla warfare to fight the government. We don't have the guns, we don't have the bullet, but we have what it takes, to fight the government using whatever means that we have, which is the social media that we are using. Let us continue to be the one trending on Twitter. And the only way we can do that is, bá jókòó sórí gbogbo platform tẹ́ ń wò wá káàkiri, bá ti máa trend Yoruba Nation hashtag lójoojúmọ́ lórí Twitter, we are going nowhere. Let us use our means to educate each other. Yoruba Nation is not something that we should joke with. We should take it as something that belongs to us. Thank you once again. For those that continue to retweet, it is our right to follow the Biafra as well, especially the Simon Ekpa. Pray for Simon Ekpa. Pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Pray for Baba Akintoye. Pray for Sunday IGBOHO. Pray for Baba Iloge. Remember also to donate money into our central account. That is the only account that is authenticated, that we know is going to be used properly, to support the self-determination. Any other account is not legitimate. The only account that is legitimate is the central account. And don't come here and tell us, Hilo Fowoshe. If you are thinking that you want to know what Hilo Fowoshe, keep your money and send it to your loved ones to buy gari, to buy rice, to buy beans. And if you can stock up food before February 25th, do so, because Nigeria is going through a turbulence. And I also want to plane that like some of us, I pray you will be able to get into a plane one day. There's sometimes they say, fasten your seatbelt. February, a lot of you need to fasten your seatbelt. If you can support your family back home to make sure that they have enough food, advise your family, come out or see polling unit. The PDP are going to kill each other. The APC are going to kill each other. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty that the political party, especially their thugs in Lagos, in different parts of Southwest, they want to kill each other. Ẹ má lọ gba bullet tí kò jẹ́ kẹ́ gbà. Kò ń ṣàwọn ọmọ Yorùbá Nation la fẹ́ pa yín. The PDP are ready to kill. The APC are ready to kill. I witnessed it in 2019 when I went to Nigeria. It is not a joke. Don't joke with what I'm saying. Tell your loved ones to get out of the vicinity of any polling unit as the election is approaching. A lot of the PVC have stocked up, a lot of the PDP members have stocked up a lot of weapons to create havoc in every part of Nigeria, and that especially as well the APC. The both political party are ready to kill each other because they want to become the next president. Don't let your family get involved. Stay in your house. You don't need to go to any polling unit. And those that want to get to polling unit, bye-bye. Before we go, as usual, I will play my own. And again, where my loyalty stands, as I always say, if that is an angry to you, if you're upset to that, I cannot help you. My loyalty remains to Chief Sunday, Dr. Adeyemo Igboho, and there's nothing that can change that. It does not matter how you feel. How you feel is not my problem. How I feel is my own problem, because I am the one that people knows my eyes. I am the one in the front there. And if you think that my loyalty to Igboho is a concern to you, you better start doing your own video so that we can see where your loyalty stands for. Igboho, Baba Akintoye will remain koikimedia to make sure that we serve them properly and defend them at any point of time. Have a very good morning. Our mother that died on Sunday, may Almighty God continue to be with the family. There will be a proper burial later on this coming Saturday. For those of you that wants to make it down there, let's try and make it there. We love her so much, but the Eledumare love her more than us, and we cannot complain. She has gone, but the job for the Yoruba Nation must continue. Yeye Lufe, Mrs. Abiodun Taiwo, Aniri Yimo, but we will remember you for all the great work you did during the course of the Yoruba nation that we are still fighting for. Ẹ ṣé gan ni o, Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró ti family yìí, ẹni tó wá kù, má kú mọ́, you will all die one day. So it's better, we better face the death now. Have a very good morning. And for now, I'll be leaving you with our national anthem. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa and the silent listeners all over the world. But one thing is, if you like, invest money in Nigeria, you will get no returns. I pity some of you that are still sending cars from all over the world to Nigeria. Nigeria is not going to work. Dangote owns Nigeria. BUA owns Nigeria. Fulani owns Nigeria. As they are making headways in the forest, they are also dealing with us in the port authority. Bye for now. Orílẹ̀-èdè Àgbéga 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 ìgbàgbọ́ àti bẹ̀rù àṣìṣe 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 comfort for the super chat. Bye for now, everybody.
Nigeria tó fẹ́ ní education tó fẹ́ ní the health infrastructure wọ́n fẹ́ ní ohun kan náà fẹ́ ní ẹwà náà fẹ́ ní bọ́ọ̀lù ẹ̀ ń sokun ìran rẹ nígbà yìí mo kọ́ọ̀pù tí ẹ gbà ìwọ lẹ́jú mo rí. àfáàwé náà wá sí òun tó dé wọn na ọmọ wa ládàá ni ó ní ìjòkó ọmọ ti dànù wọn. kọ́lá tí Nàìjíríà bá gbọ́ bọ́ọ̀lù tí a bá yẹ ìlú wà náà tí wọ́n sọ. Ẹyẹ géńgé eré pa ẹfẹ́ lè ní gbogbo nǹkan kò sẹ́ni kéde kò sí pa bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kọ́ sí kò lè lé òkú rẹ fúnra kò sí náà kò sómi wọ́n bóònù ọ̀nà lọ ọdún mẹ́fà àwọn òní sí eruku pàrọ̀ àdúgbò tán wọ́n náà nọ
ọmọ Oòduà ọ̀gá Fúlàní ọ̀gá Fúlàní ọ̀gá Fúlàní ló jẹ́ o. Yorùbá nation yìí ti gbogbo wa ni kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sílùú mìíràn.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.